Hello, First Violins. I thought I'd just make a quick clip about the Sibelius Violin Concerto. I found it quite hard work on last Wednesday, and seeing as it's a wild, stormy day, I thought I might take the opportunity just to talk a little bit about technique and things in the violin concerto so that we're all on the same page as time is short. So at the beginning, I'm just going to count like crazy and keep my eye on the downbeats so that I know exactly where I am, because the violin parts, the solo part, it's not as you expect, or it's not as I expected. So just count like fury. And if you could bring out the changing notes, that would be really great. So if you're definitely outside players, so people behind me are playing the top parts and inside players are playing the bottom, the second line. And the second line are the ones they change. In bar 9, you change notes. And if you could just bring that out with a little bit of just extra warmth on the change of note, and you change notes quite a bit, so just bring them out. And finally, when the top parts change as well, when we've got this idea, really soft hands, really. And what I've always said to people is that actually the distance between A and E is very, very close. So you only need a tiny little rocking. And if you can have really nice bow hold. In fact, I was just going to have a little chat about bow hold. So we're all aiming for a lovely, soft, flexible hand, little finger on top. I spend my entire life asking my pupils not to play like this, which gives you real tension in the hand. You can try and soften those hands with that thumb bent. I aspire to all my pupils having a lovely flexible hold, and really keep that arm as soft and as fluid as possible, especially when we get onto sixths. So we're doing there's just an effect. Don't worry too much about it. Do it just a tiny little kind of Barenboim conductor-esque little kind of wheel. But yeah, really loose arms, and just count like crazy. I think the rest is all fairly straightforward. At figure 4, can we keep it very short? It says Fortissimo, so I will be right, without swords then, isn't it? And again, you hear, I was sort of reinforcing what Alex was saying on Wednesday, all dotted notes like that, a little slower. I actually stopped there, and I haven't got a bar number for you, but so you're really kind of keeping everything really short. I think the bowing works out that every accented note is on a down bow. So from the Allegro molto, it's as it comes. Down bow again. I think it then works out, and every time there's an accent, you should be on the down bow. So that should work out. And then suddenly very, very quiet after we've got Fortissimo. You've noticed that rather than staying at the heel here, I'm going to head towards the upper half, because you need to be there for the pianissimo in the next bar. So. And I would do that as a 4th extension there. It's not particularly pleasant. Again, really soft arm and hardly any movement. So you're just really chilling out, not making too much of anything. Suddenly very loud, obviously, on the fortes. I think we were doing that. If you can go at figure 5, you can go up onto the G string. That would be fabulous. And a real kind of, you could dip up onto the second page, page 3. So it goes a little quieter, so we can get the crescendo. That'd be fantastic. The second line of of page 3, that kind of absolute, I think it's just kind of a nonsense. It's like a kind of weird chord, but it's literally kind of, and obviously ending on a nice note, and just play some of those notes, and just kind of smack out some big sound. I think all the rest is fairly straightforward. I think after 9, just really keep track of the 2 beats in a bar. That should help us. And then Yeah, after 11, count like fury. I think that's my key. Just count like fury, because it doesn't make much sense. So I think just count, 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 count. And then at right at the end, the last 2 lines of the first movement, ditch. You've got 16 bars of this. Do re re re. Bar 16, ditch the last 2 so you can get right up to them. And this is fast and short. And I think it works best at the heel with your elbows up. I think. And I think it's just really fast. I think you could potentially, if you're finding that really hard, I was struggling a little bit there, you could be at the point with the right notes. It's not very nice though, so keep everything really short and small, and no tight arms. We haven't really got into the second movement. You might be playing it through on a week on Wednesday. I don't think there's anything too awful. And then movement 3, obviously it's just 2 violins at the start, and we are just bowing out this figure. So again, your lovely bow holes, and just bow it out. It makes very, very little to do here. Just tiny, tiny bows. And just keep it really kind of precise and quiet. And then at figure 2, we've got this lovely kind of rhythmic motif. And it's just written out wrong, basically. It should be written out as a quaver, kind of as writ, but the last 3 quavers shouldn't be tied together, shouldn't be beamed together. So it should be 1. I think just get the tune in your head. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1. And then we just put that right on the beat. Okay. And I think if you just listen rather than try and think it's that really famous sort of rhythm. And then figure 4, obviously just tiny little bows and very gentle here. So you're going there, and if we can split into 3 by player, please, so that each note is recognised, and just tiny little notes, so they're just tiny, tiny, tiny. And again, when you've got these octaves, just really kind of wobbly, floppy hands. Don't stress about them. The last 2 bars of that page 6. Can we change the bowing? I would like I'd like absolutely separate. So we go B, up, down, up, down, up. So it should just bow out basically. Don't do any of the slurs. So up, down. Oh, I read it wrong. And very tight and short bows and very staccato. And again, one of those cutting the ties. So it's done, tick, and hit the last note. The last note's the most important. Then I think we're fine at 6. I would quite like you all to play, but really quietly. And it's basically, I would start right at the down bow and get a little bit loud towards the end, but we just need the kind of the rough idea. It's not an exact thing. You can play very, very quietly, but the idea is like this. And you've got to be really, really, really gentle with your bow at the top there. Again, really soft hands. So we've got a... And really just it's just an effect. It's nothing really very exciting. At 8, again, could we do it very rhythmical? So... almost like you're trying to staccato it, but you can't because your bow's slurring, obviously. And the same on the upper octave. And then again, we've got this just before 9. You've got this funny notation. It should just be a quaver rest, a quaver, short crotchet, and then a dotted quaver with a semi-quaver. So it should be just a... So the third note of that bar, that pianissimo bar, should come on at the 3rd beat. Da, 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 ba, ba, ba. So I hope that helps. Then So tutti at 11 should just literally be as it comes. I screened this bit there. Figure 11. Okay, and then 12, just count, absolute count and rhythmical, very rhythmical. So. I'm accenting the first beat of each bar because it's the important one. Big rest after those semiquavers at 12. There's a big rest and then come in loud, but the rest is quite long. It's longer than you think. Bar before 13, please be off the beat. I think the soloist is on the beat and we come off the beat, so it might be worth practicing. And then just count. 13 is not as fast as you think. 2, 3. And save your bow on the up bow after 13, so you don't end up near the heel and then you've got a crunch for the Fortissimo tremolo. So yes, save. And just count like fury. I hope that helps. I'm probably telling you all sorts of things you absolutely know, but I'm going to do clips for the whole of the string sections just to give them little pointers. If you've got any questions, do please email me.